Half of all marriages end in divorce. There's a divorce every 42 seconds in the US. In this video, I've got 6 essential tips for helping you survive that statistic and to have a happy and successful marriage. Step number 1, attraction. You got to have it. Something has to draw you together. It's not the cover of the book, it's what's on the inside. That is certainly a true statement, but you're never going to know what's on the inside unless you're interested in the outside first, right? Oh, got a four-wheeler coming down the road. Yeah, doing all right. How you doing? So anyway, attraction is not the most important thing, but it is the first thing. And you really can't get to the other things unless you get past the first thing, right? My wife will argue with me on this, but the attraction is there just as much today as it was day one 20 plus years ago. You know, things have changed. You know, we've got more wrinkles. I have way less hair. And you know, we've got battle scars from surgeries and things like that. But I think the attraction is still there just as much now as it was from day one. Faith, number 2, is faith. You got to be equally yoked. And that's a Christianese term, but regardless of what faith that you have, I think you need to be on the same page. You can't have one that's an atheist, one that's a Christian, and expect to have solid footing after that. I can't speak for all the other religions, but as a Christian, that's really our foundation. That's what we base our moral compass on. That's where we, you know, seek guidance. And if you're not on the same page, it's just not going to work out. Number 3, compromise. There's going to be a lot of times when you're not going to be able to do what you want to do, and you have to be okay with that. You have to be able to put your passions aside at times to allow the other person to explore their passions. You know, like I'm in a band, and that takes a lot of nights away. My wife has allowed me to do that for over a decade, and I'm missing out on home time where I'm not able to help out with dinner and chores and cleanup and things like that. On the flip side of that, my wife loves hosting. She loves hosting parties, family, friends, cooking, having these big family get-togethers. While she's cooking, I'm busy getting tables set up, getting things cleaned up, mopping the floors, doing all the cleaning, all that stuff, and getting ready for the company to come over, right? And then we have the party, and then you do it all over again because you got to clean up after they leave too. I don't particularly like doing the cleanup and all of that, but I know it's something that she enjoys, and I'm willing to do those things for her. And it's just little things like that on a continual basis, over and over and over again. Number 4, contribute. Kind of goes hand in hand with number 3. You can't expect one person to take care of all the unfun stuff. One person shouldn't be completely responsible for changing dirty diapers, or completely responsible for vacuuming the house or doing the dishes. And essentially, each person needs to pull their own weight. Throughout my life, I've heard of other dads that are not willing to help with the kids' stuff, especially when they're babies, like changing diapers and, you know, baby baths and things like that. I think it's essential. I think it's part of being a dad is to participate in all of those things. From what I've seen from other families, the more involved the dad was, the better off the whole family was. And there's a correlation between that. I think that it's not someone else's problem. It's taking ownership of the success of your family. And as a man, I think, you know, we're called to make that a focus of our lives, make sure that our family is protected. Essential tip number 5, keep dating. You have to find some time to connect with one another on a regular basis, really. I'm not going to say that you have to do every Wednesday and schedule it in like that, but it needs to be often. But finding that time where you can just be alone together and reconnect and do some things together and just share life together. Bonus tip on this one is find couples that share similar values to you. If you share similar values, there's a saying of you're as an individual, you're equal to the 5 people that are closest to you, or 5 friends that are closest to you, whatever that saying is. I think that's similar for marriages too. If you're trying to have a happy, successful marriage and all you're doing is hanging out with people whose relationships are complete and utter failures and they're fighting all the time, or they just don't have the respect for each other like you think they ought to have, probably not a great idea to hang out with them all the time. Find couples that have similar values to you and you'll be much better off for it. Tip number 6, communicate. You need to communicate constantly. Where you're going, what you're doing, what your plans are, what are your opinions on things. It just needs to be a continual process. This is where I struggle the most. So speaking your mind, that's essential. Your girl wants to know what you think about them. You know, if you think their outfit is sexy, tell them their outfit is sexy. If you like their hair, tell them you like their hair. Your significant other, they want to hear these things. They don't want to just assume. They want to hear these things from you, not just that you think them like I do, but you also say them, and that will go a long way to have a connection with one another and to ensure that you have a successful marriage. So this video is a little bit different than all of my other videos thus far. There'll be some raw edits and whatnot, but there's not going to be any fancy transitions or anything. I just kind of wanted it to be a to B conversation from me to you and give you tips on what has been a successful thing for us. Like I said, we've been married for 22 years and have 3 kids. We've been able to survive a lot of ups and downs and be there for each other. And these are just the 6 things that are kind of foundationally a necessary thing that you have to do to maintain. And it's not a one-time thing. All 6 of them are just constant. You have to keep going every day. It's not a do it once and leave it type of thing. It is a continual progress, continual improvement, and we're not perfect. We're definitely not perfect, but we have made it really far. I think we've learned a lot of things along the way. And if you're just starting out in your relationship, just understand that these are good foundational points to go for. If you can get these 6 things taken care of, most of the other problems can be resolved in some way. So good luck to you. I hope you have a happy and successful and loving marriage. And if you like what you saw, give me a follow, and I'll see you next time. Bye.